Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you again. Today, I want to get into what is probably my most anticipated pair of 2024 so far. I've wanted this pair for a long time and I've never had them. My wife was able to pick up this pair in my size on a shock drop on the SNKRS app, and I am very pumped about having these in the collection. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Jordan 4s in the military blue colorway. Alright, so like I said, this is my most anticipated pair to release this year so far, even more than the reimagined Bred 4s. The military blue colorway of the Jordan 4 is probably my second favorite colorway on that silhouette. First would have to go to the Fire Reds, and that's because whenever I think of Jordan playing in 4s, the Fire Reds are just what pop into my mind immediately. This colorway is a close second just because blue is my favorite color. This, of course, is an OG colorway, even though they're calling these industrial blue. I don't know why they're doing that. I think this color is really close to how the color was whenever they were released in 1989. I've never owned this colorway of the 4, so I'm very glad to finally have these in my collection. Numbers are rumored to be over 1 million pairs on these, which seems like a lot. I've seen some people saying that these will end up sitting, but I don't see that happening. I don't think there's any way this pair is going to sit, and we'll get into why I think that is. Maybe I'm wrong. There might be extra pairs in GS sizes and even smaller adult sizes, but even those I don't think will be around very long. Our box is similar to what we've seen on 4s before. It's got the Jumpman, the flight text there on the lid, and it's got a black lid, but the bottom has that cement print. The tag reads Air Jordan 4 Retro. The colors are off-white and military blue. I got this pair in a size 10.5. I typically go up a half size on my 4s because they hurt my wide feet if I go true to size. I think it's interesting that on the SNKRS app they call these industrial blue, but even on the tag it says military blue. Again, I don't know why they're doing that, but that's just the way it is. I'm going to call them military blue throughout this video, but I know SNKRS refers to them as industrial blue, even though that's not what the tag says. But enough yapping about the box and the tag and that sort of thing. Here they are. I was so excited to get these. My wife's account has been crazy hot. She got the restock of the Bred 4s. She got this pair on the shock drop, and she got a pair of the Venice Beach Kobe 8s in adult and a pair in GS. So her one SNKRS account has really been doing well. As I mentioned, I was really pumped about these. Couldn't wait to get them in. I did start to get a little bit nervous because I heard people saying that there was a lot of QC issues. And for one, that doesn't surprise me. On a Jordan GR, there's going to be QC issues. I also keep hearing the quality of this compared to the reimagined Bred 4s, and everybody's saying these are not as good as those as far as quality goes. And immediately I can tell you I agree with that. The quality on the reimagined Bred 4s is phenomenal. I love the materials that they used. I got 2 pairs in my size of those reimagined Bred 4s, and I've seen my buddy's pair that he let me get early for a review, and those were just in really good shape. I will say overall the QC on this pair is decent. Materials are okay, but it's nothing spectacular. I have one QC issue with this pair, and I'm wondering if you can already see it. It's on this side. Take a second and see if you can pick up what it is before I point it out. I'll go ahead and show you if you didn't see it. I don't know how evident it's going to be on camera. This shoe was the first shoe I saw whenever I opened up my box, and I immediately picked out there's a glue stain on my mud guard right here. And that material feels like it's a pretty decent nubuck. This is actually probably the nicest material on the shoe. It reminds me of a material similar to what we saw on the PSG 4s, but just like the PSG 4s, I had a glue stain on that pair that I had. Right down here you can see there's a little glue smudge. It's not terrible, it's not super evident or anything, and it wouldn't keep me from wearing this pair. However, I was planning on throwing these on feet immediately, and now what I think I'm going to have to do is see if I can grab another pair in this size and hope that the left shoe is better. Let me know if you've ever done that as well, but I have a habit of, if I get more than one pair of Jordan Retros, I will take out all 4 shoes and I will mix and match so that I have the best pair possible, and then I'll move the other pair out of the collection. If I'm able to double up in a 10.5, and if the left shoe is in perfect shape, just like my right shoe is, because honestly, my right shoe is perfect. There's no issues with that at all. If I'm able to double up in a 10.5 and the left shoe of my double up pair is in better shape than these, then you better believe I will be mixing and matching to give me the best pair possible. Maybe I'm just being nitpicky, but for me, I would rather not have a blatant stain on my mudguard of any new pair of shoes, but especially for a colorway on a silhouette that I've been wanting for a long time. I really just would rather have a perfect pair to start with, you know? So all that said, I definitely agree. The quality on the Bred 4s was much better. However, I prefer this colorway, and this colorway kind of has more nostalgia than what the Bred 4s does for me. Blue is my favorite color, and I tend to gravitate more towards lighter colored shoes. That's what I wear more. So for me overall, I do prefer this colorway, but the materials and the execution on the Bred 4s that I saw was way better than these. And again, I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. I think this is a wonderful pair of shoes. I'm still really glad to have these in my collection, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't going to try to mix and match to get myself a perfect pair. But with all that out of the way, I do want to compare these to the Military Blacks and just show you a couple of differences. A lot of people who have been collecting kicks for a long time, you already know, but this is just to go over what I observed. First of all, this leather is not bright white. Like it says on the box, it's off-white. But when you compare the leather to a bright white leather, you can really see that this has a tint to it, and I like that. I really like that. I think it goes good with the blue, but I also think that it will just help these age better, because you won't be seeing blatant dirt and that kind of stuff as much, just because it's got a little bit of a tint to it. But that's the first thing that I noticed, was just that the leather is far from bright white, and I like that. Another thing too, the Military Blacks kind of have a texture all over them. These Military Blues just have a smooth leather on all the panels. Like, there's really no texture to that leather at all. I don't mind the leather that we got on here, but it definitely doesn't feel premium and buttery like we got on the Bred 4s. And then the last thing I wanted to point out is the Military Blues have the OG branding, so it's got Nike on the outsole, and the Military Blacks just have a Jumpman on the outsole. And then on the heel tab, we got the Nike Air branding on this OG Military Blue, and we just got a Jumpman on the Military Blacks. I was actually a little bit surprised. I made a short and I asked people if they preferred the Military Black or the Military Blue. Basically, everybody said the Military Blue, which I agree with. However, the Military Black pair is going for like about 500 bucks in my size right now. And people are saying that this is going to brick, and I just don't understand how people are saying that. I know prices are down pretty low right now before the drop, and I think it's just people trying to get out from under them that might not want them for themselves. But I really think demand for this shoe is going to be very high whenever it comes to release day. I don't think there will be enough pairs. Even if there are a million pairs, I think there will be more people that want this shoe than there are shoes in existence. So I think this is going to sell out. I think it'll be in high demand. I don't know how long it'll take for the value to be as high as it is on these Military Black 4s. But even though there's high numbers of these, I just think the demand is there, the history is there, And you'll have OGs along with new collectors that are going after this shoe. I do think if you put in reasonable footwork that you should be able to get this shoe, but I still think there's going to be people chasing after these that take it out. Let me know if you think I'm crazy. Let me know if you think they'll sit or if they'll sell out whenever they drop on release day. As you can see, this one came with the Nike Air hang tag, just like the old ones had. It's pretty flimsy. I'll definitely cut that off. The only tag I ever consider keeping on is an off-white tag, and this would just get on my nerves flopping around on there. Looking at the outsole, we've just got the same colors that make up the upper of the shoe. It's a white, the military blue, those stars are in that nice gray color. We've got military blue at the midfoot with some Nike branding, and then another hit of that nice gray there at the back. Most of the traction is just herringbone, and it's just pointing all different directions. We can see that white rubber wrapping up to the midsole, and that meets some white painted foam along with some military blue painted foam. And as far as QC goes on that, I think it looks nice and neat. I think the air bubble looks nice and clean. There's no paint on there. There's no paint where it shouldn't be, and there's not a whole lot of air bubbles or anything like that. Then looking at this mud guard, I think this is like a nubuck material or else just a really, really short-haired suede. But this feels like it's a pretty premium material, and a lot of times this nubuck is very easy to stain. So whenever I find my perfect pair and I put them together, I will spray them, especially this front part, with some stain protectant or water repellent, just so that they don't get marked up real quick. But this material is decent. You actually get some back and forth motion on it. Sometimes that's hard to pick up on camera, but I'll try anyway. I love the shade of gray that we have on here. It's got 2 rows of stitching, and the stitching matches that little gray panel. But I really love the color. I think this is a really nice material, but the bad thing about that is that it'll mark up pretty easy. Moving on to this off-white leather, like I said before, it's just a really smooth material. It doesn't feel premium. It doesn't feel terrible. I do understand why people are saying they wish the quality was better for the price point. If it's over 200 bucks, you would think quality would be really nice, but that price just keeps creeping up. I think these look great, but I wouldn't have minded seeing a better leather used on this upper. But all that being said, I'm still happy with this purchase. I will keep these if I can't get another pair, but if I can get another pair, I will try to mix and match and get that perfect pair. We've got this netting on the base of the tongue, and then on the side panels, just like we're used to getting. Underneath of that off-white netting, we have that military blue color, and that's just a classic look. Our basketball net lace accents are in that military blue color, and then the wings that kind of attach to that top accent are in an off-white color to match the leather on the upper. I just noticed too, it looks like the laces are off-white to match the leather. And again, that's not really blatant, but if you compare it to bright white laces, you can definitely see that these are off-white. We do have the same plastic heel tab that we're used to getting, and that is in the military blue color with white Nike Air branding. At the top of the tongue, we have more of that smooth off-white leather, and then we've got a 4 style tag, and it's got a military blue Jumpman, and we've got that flight font as well. The back of the tongue is blue, and it's got Air Jordan upside down. And our sock liner is off-white, maybe even a gray color, and it's that fuzzy cotton style that we got back in the day. Our insole is blue, and it's got some Nike Air branding down on it. All right, that was a pretty quick look at these military blue Jordan 4s. I will be trying to go for a double up. Let me know what you think about that glue stain. Let me know if that would be a deal breaker for you or not. It's not that bad. That's the only QC issue that I have on here, but at a price of over $200, you would hope that there's no QC issues at all. I'm glad that I have this pair in the collection, but I will definitely be trying to piece together a perfect pair. I appreciate you all watching tremendously. Let me know what you think about these. If you already got a pair, let me know how the condition of your pair is. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm out.